father's name is Dr. Olunloyo. Dr. Victor Omololu Olunloyo, married to my mother, Mrs. Funlayo Olunloyo. We have always been a monogamous family, daddy and mommy, just my parents. When my father ran for governor in 1983, a woman in the campaign workers, one woman in the campaign was actually dating my dad, and my mom had no idea. When my father became governor, after he became governor, it was only 3 months, and Buhari took over. Sometimes after he became governor, as the 90s came in, this woman got pregnant for my dad and had a child. When she had a child, and I'm going to say everybody's name out, because this is life, and you need to listen to people's story. This is what we said yesterday on Twitter, that Kemi is not making this thing about herself. She wants you to learn from this. So, Yella, this woman that had the baby for my father in the 90s was actually a campaign worker for him during the governorship campaign. Since that time, she's been sleeping with my dad. Well, guess who she was? She was my classmate and my sister's classmate in school. Okay? Ronke Shonaike. Ronke Shonaike and my father were actually sleeping together. And by the 90s, Ronke had the first child for my dad. It really caused ruckus in my house. My mom, my sisters, my siblings, everybody was pissed off. Okay, so Popsi it's Bimo Sita. But wait, it's happened before. The woman now had another child 2 years later. And then, some people in this place know what I'm talking about. Ronke and my dad now got married, a court wedding or something. And Ronke became Ronke Olunloyo. But remember, Ronke went to school with me and my sister. Freeze, you lived in University of Ibadan. You know that if you didn't go to Aberdeen, you went to staff school, right? And what happened is that Ronke, my sister, those are the staff school crowd. Today, I'm 57. Let's just say I'm 58 this year. My sister is 59 this year. Ronke is 61 this year. Now, Ronke became Ronke Olunloyo. My parents had a fit. Okay? So, this stuff somehow semi-broke them up. It changed the whole outlook of our family. We were not a monogamous family anymore. Yella, we were now a polygamous family. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ronke had 2 children from my dad, and my mom has 7 plus 1, 8. Who is that one? In 1964, I was born in August. A woman had a baby for my dad in May of 64. Freeze, listen carefully. That baby in May of 64 is Benga Olunloyo. A lot of people know Benga Olunloyo. His nickname is Kapoor. Benga is Belva Minaj. Please don't distract me. Kemi talks and brags too much. Anyone that messes up, freeze. This stuff I'm saying is very privileged stuff. Close the comments if you have to. Because I want you guys to listen to the fact. I don't fuck up. Excuse me. I don't want to curse. I don't want to curse. Sorry. I don't mess up. Freeze. Turn off the comments. That way the algorithms won't pick you up and shadow ban you.
I'm turning off the comments now.
Turn it off. I want them to listen. I have to be very careful because, I'm a Twitter person. Algorithms, they will shadow ban people.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right, Yella, listen. My father had me in August of 1964, and my father had another child in 1964, May of 1964. My brother, Benga Olunloyo, okay, Kapoor, best friend, Dele Momoju. Okay, everybody always asks everybody, why is Kemi and Benga the same age? Nobody could ever explain why we were the same age. We were born the same year. One was born in May. My father had an affair with a woman, a married woman. Are you listening to me? My father had an affair with a married woman who was in a polygamous relationship. You understand what I'm saying? This kind of stuff, I'm telling you, freeze. Internet, Twitter broke yesterday when I was on Niger PR, when I was telling this story. They really appreciated everything I said. Now, you marry a young lady. She has a baby for you in 1963. That's my big sister. I'm number 2. The woman is almost 9 months pregnant, about to have the next baby in August of 1964. And then another woman has a baby for you in May of 1964. A married woman. So my dad had an affair with a married woman, okay? Benga's mother, okay, was Mrs. Akere at the time. Sure, you understand me? In a polygamous relationship on her own side, though. So Mrs. Akere had a baby for my dad, and that's Kemi Olunloyo. When Benga was born, when he was 12, he came to live with us in UI. So my mom raised Benga with us. Do you understand what I'm saying? A woman in a polygamous relationship had a baby for my father and sent the child to come and live with my father. You get the deal?
Now, was
So
this still with her husband?
Yes. Benga is Mrs. Akere. She's late now. She was with Alhaji Akere, her husband, and her 4 children over there. So the child she had from my dad was then brought to us at 10, 12 years old. So Benga started living with us and grew up with us at that age, at 12, 13. Now listen carefully. XYZ years later, Ronke shows up. My dad is doing the same thing. Can my mom take any of this anymore? She got fed up. Sure, you understand me, Freeze? Okay. So now Ronke is automatically Ronke Olunloyo. She's leaving. You know, she has her own house. Dad got her own house for her, everything. She's in the family. Her children are Olumide and what's the name of the Wura Olumide Olunloyo. They're all known. These kids are known very well. They went to nice schools, expensive schools, and everything in Ibadan. At the end of the day, we're all family. Okay, so Dr. Olunloyo, Chief Olunloyo, Governor Olunloyo, Balogun of Oyo, everything. Daddy now has 10 children. Sure you understand? 7 from my mom, Benga 8, and 2 for Ronke. And that's how we remain today. I lost 2 brothers. Tayo is dead, Oyeleke is dead. But the rest, everybody is still intact. Nobody talks to anybody because this whole thing with Ronke and Daddy literally melted down the family. My mom could not take it anymore. So in 2015, my mom and dad had a big fight. When I say big fight, yelling, screaming, and they broke up. So my mom and dad, Yella, have been separated since 2015. They did not go to court to divorce, okay? It takes me a lot to tell you guys this story. This is major stuff I'm telling you. Okay, some people are going to take this to the blogs tomorrow, take it to the newspapers. It doesn't matter. But this is life. So as time went on, we were used to the polygamy thing. I have nothing against Ronke. But there are people in my family that don't like her. Some of my siblings. They believe she broke our family up. Some people say my mother has had enough of my father's philandering and everything. One happened when she was pregnant with me. Another one happened years later. Now, what I want to explain to you is that is just my own family. Today, my father is 87 years old. My mother's 82. They're not together. Somebody called me from Oyo State yesterday and said, I should please try and get my parents to start talking to each other. You know what I told the person? The person is a very famous person. And all of you know the person. I wouldn't say the name. I said, what's my own? I can't get them to talk together. Okay? I'm going to be 58. I'm the one supposed to be doing what? These guys could have been married, you know, since 1963 or whenever they got married. But my parents don't even talk. I left about 3 years ago. So at the end of the day, my parents are separated. My mother lives in her own place. My dad lives in her own place. But now they're very old. Where does my dad live? My dad has been living in Ronke since 2015 at her house. Ronke is early 60. My dad is almost 90. Now, she can't cope with my dad. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? If you want to marry sugar daddy or older men, by the time they are hitting 90, you're still in your 60s. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it becomes like she's not taking care of my dad. You understand what I'm saying? She's doing what we should be doing, but we're abroad. Everybody's abroad. I'm here. Okay, but I'm literally not in a battle. So at the end of the day, this polygamy stuff, it's real. Okay? There is no monogamy. Now I'm going to take you to another area here, which is going to make this conversation interesting. Yella, listen carefully. There is no such thing as monogamy. I made notes here. It's a borrowed culture. It's a borrowed culture, Freeze. Monogamy was borrowed from the Western world. Bigamy, whatever they call it. It is not legal to have polygamy in America. But when the Alaafin of Oyo showed up in London, that very trip where Kabiyesi showed up with the 6 wives, the 6 pretty girls, pretty ladies. He has a lot of wives, 20 or so. But he travels with an X amount. When they landed in London, did they arrest them? Did they arrest Kabiyesi? No, they were fascinated with 6 women that looked alike, all light-skinned, and a king. So, what is this thing we call bigamy and all these laws? It's non-existent. Okay? Polygamy will always be polygamy. Now, I want to just make a reference to certain people. Are you ready for this? Fritz, can you hear me?
Clearly.
Now, there is a guy called Two-Face. There is a guy called Lil Wayne and Nick Cannon. Okay, I'm going to separate them. Nigeria, Two-Face, Davido, Wizkid. Everyone has a child for multiple women. Now, we have Lil Wayne and Nick Cannon over in America. To compare and contrast them, okay, you know that Nick Cannon has 8 baby mamas. Okay, right now he's the one that's really, Nick is the one that has the record now in the world, father of all nations. Okay, Nick Cannon has 8 babies for 8 baby mamas with so many children. And he keeps getting them pregnant. Now, a lot of them are young Instagram models and all that. Now, Nick Cannon was once married to one of those women. Okay, her name is Mariah Carey, a singer. When Nick was married to Mariah Carey, what do you call the other baby mamas? You
Baby
tell
ma-
me, Freeze. You call the baby mamas? Right, okay. But what kind of relationship is he in? Is Nick in a polygamous or a monogamous relationship?
If he still has intercourse with the other ones, then I say it's polygamous.
It is polygamous. It can never be monogamous. Two-Face is married to Annie. Annie needs to know that she's the wife. Perot needs to know that Annie is the wife. But Perot's father said Two-Face is my son-in-law because Perot has had up to 2 or 3 kids for Two-Face, I believe. So at the end of the day, Two-Face is not his son-in-law, okay? The whole idea of Annie being married to Two-Face is polygamous. Two-Face is not monogamous because he's married to Annie. Annie must know that I may be the wife, but we're in a polygamous relationship. That's how it is over there. Davido. If Davido marries Chioma, okay, they're in a polygamous relationship. Chioma's the wife. Every other baby mama is part of that polygamous relationship. If Davido marries Sophia, Chioma, and everybody else, it's a polygamous relationship. None of them are baby mamas anymore. He married them all. So the same thing goes for Wizkid. If Wizkid is getting married soon, by the way, exclusive. If Wizkid marries Jada, okay, now Jada needs to know that Wizkid is in a polygamous relationship with the others, okay? Shala's little boy, Boluwa Tife, and the other kid, they're in a polygamous relationship. It's the fact that one baby mama becomes a wife, sure you understand, does not make it a monogamous relationship. Kill the word monogamy. I came up with a word called pediagamy. Pediagamy, children-gamy. You get it? Frizz, you get what I mean by pediagamy? I made that word up yesterday on Nigeria PR. I will even submit it to Merriam-Webster. Maybe they'll put it in the dictionary. However, with my own parents' story, okay, and these celebrities, okay, one of them has a lot of kids with 6 baby mamas. His name is Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has children with Lauren London, has children with, you know what I mean? But the very first woman that Lil Wayne has a child with, Regine's mom, all right? Toya was married to Lil Wayne. Was married. Sure you get the difference. Toya was married, Toya Carter. She was married to Lil Wayne as a young couple then. Then after that, Lil Wayne divorced her and started having kids with other women. So at the end of the day, Toya's married to someone else. Lil Wayne is not married to anybody, but several women have children for him. These are polygamous relationships that the U.S. government itself cannot touch. You know what I mean? Instead of getting married and charging people with bigamy, just let them keep having the babies and know what they're doing. Finally, before we start the discussion, I just wanted to throw all this out. I want you to tell me, Freeze, okay? There's a man called Kehinde Taiwo. Kehinde Taiwo is the father of Rich KJT. You interviewed my son on Cool FM. Remember Rich KJT, what he said?
Yeah.
Now, Kanye was married to an American woman. They had a son. That son is now 36 years old. They broke up. They divorced. That's his ex-wife. So he wanted to get married again. I met Kemi Olunloyo. And I decided I want to have a child. We just decided, okay, we'll have a child. You know what I mean? Ended up abusing me emotionally, and I left him. I took my son. So the emotional abuse was too much. And I became the baby mama. You see what I'm trying to illustrate here? After I left, he met another woman. He got married to her. Another girl from, not Nigeria, an African country, Equatorial Guinea. They got married and they had 2 children. Okay? Those children are now, KJ is 21. The girl would be 19 and the boy would be 17 now. So at the end of the day, when KJ was 5, he sent KJ back to me in Nigeria to live with me. And that's how my son has been with me. He's 21. But at the end of the day, how do you, this is my question to you. How do you, Freeze, describe Mr. Kende? Do you describe him as a polygamous man? Because Kende has an ex-wife, a baby mama, which is me, and a wife. How do you describe Kende? You can open the comments now.
Okay.
Open the comments now. I want people to be in the feedback. Yella, how do you describe my son's father? He's got an ex-wife, he's got a baby mama, which is me, and he's got a wife. Do you think he's in a polygamous relationship or he's in a monogamous relationship? Yella,
I would still say that it's monogamous.
No way.
No.
Why?
Like,
Because of his wife?
because the relationship doesn't have, like, this is what I think, relationship doesn't have to do with the kids. Who is he dating at the moment and how many is he dating at a time?
Okay, let me ask you another question. He came to Nigeria. He visited me and my son. And then I went to watch TV in the room. He was with me. And he wanted to have sex. I'm just saying this because I'm real.
Don't say
Oh,
the S
yeah, algorithm, yeah. I wanted to, okay. Yella. He wanted to do, you know what I mean? You know what they say with the S word with the X?
Yeah, I get you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's happened is I'm like, no way, you can't. If anything happens in this room tonight, I'm telling your wife, Yella, I'm telling your wife, you're a married man now. So nothing happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
still think, do you still think it's monogamous?